Hey everybody, this video may not make me popular, but after prayerful consideration, I feel compelled to tell you why I absolutely do not recommend The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. Hello everyone, and welcome to Book Talks with Miss Thomas. I'm happy you're here, regardless of what you think of the book, The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. But I just wanted to tell you, I've really struggled with this. Do I even want to get out there and talk about a book of this particular nature? I'm going to be as general as I can because I know people don't want spoilers, but I also think if you're considering this book, you need to know what you're headed toward. But I'm not going to get too graphic because I just wouldn't anyway. But also, if you're interested in the book, I don't want to, spoil it for you. But I will tell you, I was on the waiting list for this book. I heard about this book before it was even released. I was so excited for it. It was supposed to be the story of a girl whose college friend she suspects was murdered, but it looks like a suicide, and she wants to avenge her friend. And, so it had all the workings for what I would love in a book. It had girls and friendship and college reflection and a murder mystery. And I was like really down for it. I was really interested and excited for this book. And then when I get the book, I was enjoying the way it started. This woman, Shay, is sitting by her pool. She's very wealthy. She's painting her toenails yellow. I love that little detail, the yellow nails. When she's listening to a podcast and she is hearing about this apparent suicide of a girl, and it turns out it was her best friend from college. So she drops everything and runs off to her college town to try and look into the death of her friend. Her friend's name was Laurel. And as she does that, she reflects on her college years with her friendship with Laurel and another girl named Clementine. And the three of them need a roommate in college, and so they bring in this fourth girl named Rachel to be their roommate, and then they just get mixed up in all kinds of crazy, just disgusting, twisted, violent sex. Okay, so I've said it. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to get into the details. I wouldn't discuss that even if I, didn't want to spoil the book. It was just too sickening. There were times that I was listening to the book that I felt physically sick. There were times that I was listening to the book that I said out loud to the audio recording, "What is wrong with you? What were you thinking?" To some of the characters in the book. I just had such a hard time understanding how these college girls could be attracted to a man who brutalized them. And then in order to impress and please the man, they even brutalized each other. And it was just a very sickening, twisted storyline. Now, they did, graduate from college and move away from that weird situation. One of the characters, the reporter in the book, his name is Jamie. Jamie and Shay team up together to try and figure out what happened to Laurel. And so Shay sort of goes undercover as this woman who enjoys BDSM, and it's very descriptive. It's very, very graphic. If you wanted to just say she goes undercover and leave the rest to our imagination, I maybe could have lived with it, but it was so incredibly disgustingly, is that even a word, depicted. I mean, I felt physically sick listening to some of the descriptions of the things that were in this book. And I thought maybe I should DNF this. There were several times that I thought very seriously about DNFing the book, and there were times that I just took a break from the book. And there was one time in particular I needed to blare some Christian music to get a break from the book. But I kept going back because I thought, well, it's not really glorifying the violence. It's just saying that it's something that she was a victim of in college, and it sort of portrayed it as, maybe I was hoping, maybe a warning to college girls that this is something you want to be careful about. I don't know that the book really did offer a warning about it. I think it just sort of objectively told a story, and how can you be objective about letting someone brutalize you and then causing you to brutalize your friends? I was just disgusted. I need to say one other thing, and I have struggled with this. I've debated whether or not I want to even get into this video, and I try to keep this under 5 minutes, but I'm sorry, I have got to say this. The book brings God into it. The book talks about, these men in this cult, and they take these daughters. Oh, and can I just say the leader of the cult's name is Dom. Could you come up with something a little more creative? But they think that's his name. I'm thinking it's more his title, but the girls in the book think it's his name, Dom, D-O-M. But then there's these daughters, and they take these daughters and they punish them. These daughters need punishment in front of the entire group. So there's large, huge audiences of people who see really violent, disgusting punishment of usually college-age girls. And some of these girls ended up being murdered. If you want to bring God into it, then I need to say this. The premise, and I know it was supposed to be crazy. It was supposed to be not a rational line of thought, but I still need to address it. So the men in the book would say, the daughter of, I think it was supposed to be like the daughter of Eve. And there was reference to Eve being this temptress that, corrupted Adam and caused Adam to sin. And I just need to point out, first of all, it drives me crazy when people say that, because Adam was standing right there throughout the entire conversation that Eve had with Satan over the apple. So if you don't believe me, please check your Bible. Check your Bible before you let some crazy book tell you how to think, okay? The Bible's not a crazy book. The Bible will tell you the truth. And the Bible tells you that Adam and Eve were both there during that conversation with Satan. And really, the bigger issue for me is that if you want to talk about, someone getting brutalized, let's talk about Jesus, okay? Jesus was brutalized on the cross so that you would never have to be. There is no reason for anyone to allow themselves to be harmed or torn down or brutalized. And there's definitely no reason for us to participate in harming or tearing down or brutalizing anyone else, because Jesus went to the cross out of love for us so that we don't have to do that. So I just needed to say that. After reading that book, I just needed to say that. I don't know if I should have read the book or not read the book. I would put the book down and say, am I sinning by reading this? I definitely didn't enjoy it, but I felt like, okay, here we go. If we're going to bring this into the world and I have this channel, then I'm going to listen to the book and I'm going to respond. And so there you have it. There's why I do not recommend, I don't even remember the name of it, A Good Housewife. I don't recommend it. But if you're going to read it, please know that it's not biblical. Bye for now.